guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Porsche Clearwater, and guess what? I have something all new from Porsche, and it's right here next to me. This is it. This is a 2025 Porsche Macan, but guess what? The big new addition is this is a Macan Electric, and it's called the Electric 4. But before we get into this smaller size, first time electrified crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So Porsche has not always had it their way. In the 1980s, things were not looking good for them. They were in the red when it came to the bottom line. Not good for an auto manufacturer. They actually hired Toyota to come in and revamp their manufacturing process to cut out those wastely costs. Another thing they did is added the Porsche Boxster. That started to see them climb out of the red and get into the black. Now, of course, I'll never forget when they announced their four-door sedan, the Panamera, and then really the biggest shock to my system was when they came out with the mid-size crossover SUV, which is actually their first SUV ever, which is the Cayenne. Then, most recent, is the Macan. Now the Macan's done a lot for Porsche, and they're hoping now to take it to the next level by adding electrification. Quite interesting that they decided to go the Macan route rather than Cayenne first. Eventually there will be a fully electrified Cayenne, but for now we have the Macan. Now what's fascinating is you're going to be able to option it many different ways, and because this is an Electric 4, that means we have dual motor all-wheel drive. You can get a Macan Electric single motor rear-wheel drive, and then of course they're also going to have the turbo versions, even though you cannot have a turbo in an electrified car. It's simply that name for marketing and that explanation of what performance to expect. But what I want to find out is if you're looking for the best new electrified SUV, you've been looking at the Model Y and you're saying to yourself, you know what? I can't do it. It looks like a big egg, looks like a jelly bean. Is the Macan Electric 4 the best way to go? Let's go ahead, let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, it's fascinating because right away you could tell it's a Macan, but you could also tell that there's some differences between this and the ICE version. Now up front, you're gonna see similar styling and lighting as the Taycan, which is the sedan. You do have, of course, your array of LED daytime running lamps, turn signals, and then working our way down, we have our lower pod with our projector beam LED headlights and functional corner air curtain to flow that air. And somebody asked me a few videos ago in the comment section, what's the purpose of an air curtain? It is there to clean up the air that is hitting the front of the vehicle and to help with aerodynamics. This being an electrified SUV, we really want to cut down on drag. That's going to help us with our range. And I have the range numbers for almost the whole lineup of these new Macan Electrics. I love the body color with the blue. And then you're going to get, one thing I noticed is you're getting a lot of flat black on this Macan Electric. And I'm very curious to see what you have to say about it in that comment section. Now, as we come across the front nose, very Porsche-esque. It's got that nice, smooth, rounded surface. Working your way down, you do have a forward-facing camera. Nice addition. And then you'll also notice the ginormous lower air intakes. Now, this does have a lithium-ion cooled battery pack, so we need to bring in air to help with that cooling. And I do like how far the lower lip extends. Like I said, trying to stop air from going underneath the Macan Electric 4 and to scoop that air in there. This little leaf is not included. We'll get rid of that. Get out of there. You're messing up our coefficient drag numbers with that leaf. But let me know what you think about the front. I'm okay with most of the flat black. I feel like there should be a little bit more body color. But let me know what you think in the comment section. As we rise up, the hood. They make it look like a Porsche. You have that same rise that you would find on a 911, find on a Panamera, find on a Taycan. And then I love the way the hood just crests over up top to meet that fender line. Really, really beautiful car. And Porsche has some of the best timeless designs because most of their models are all evolution of design rather than revolution. Now, as I come around the bend, I hope you like manhole size cover wheels. We got optional 22-inch wheels, the metallic silver, the machine aluminum. This is gonna help generate that airflow. We have 6-piston Brembo calipers with regen braking, of course. And then you'll also be able to get your special suspension bits specifically tuned for the Macan Electric. And one of the nice things is because the battery pack is in the belly of this thing, it does lower the center of gravity quite a bit. We got an electric motor up front, electric motor out back. My zonk is this: why do we have flat black cladding around the fender opening? Maybe on a base, I could see it, but this is an electric 4. I would like to see a body color, especially with our beautiful blue. Let me know what you think, but before I forget, before I rise up, I was getting too excited. Tire size, 255 on the width, 40 series sidewall. And like I said, let me know what you think about that cladding. Coming down the side, you do get the new electric badge. You're finding this on the Taycan and the Macan Electric. All body color, mirror caps. You got your LED turn signals, roof with the panoramic glass roof up top. And then you do have your bright silver roof rails nice and close to that roof line. Now from the side, like I said, you could tell this is a Macan. It's got that compact crossover size that you're familiar with the Macan SUV. The big difference is there's a lot of cladding. Why is this here? I have to zonk this. It's not really doing it for me. I do like the body indentation, but just pop this off. It doesn't need to be there. And then you do have the flat black along the bottom. That doesn't bother me as much. This, aesthetically, it's just not doing it for me. You got color matched on the door handles, and I like the way that they did the silver around the window frames. It matches nicely with the silver up top. Let me know what you think about that. Of course, there will be other versions where you could get this all blacked out. Coming towards the rear, love the body line. Steven's gonna swing it around and show that nice fender flare coming off. Love the way they do that quarter glass window, especially with no frame. It's seamless as the glass meets the rear quarter window. And then when we get to the tail end of the business, yeah. So it's super smooth, super sleek, except for this. Interesting how there's no roof spoiler. And it's also interesting that they couldn't do anything with the aerodynamics to make this clean itself with the airflow. This wiper just sticks out like a big old zit on a teenager's face, full of pus. So I definitely have to zonk that. New lighting, all new lighting, of course, on this new Macan Electric. I do love the LED. I even love the light bar. I know Steven is not a fan of the light bar, but I'm digging the light bar, and I'm digging how the Porsche name really looks great from the back. And then, of course, we work our way down to ground level. You're gonna have your Macan 4, like I said, all-wheel drive. And then very simplistic how they did the lower bumper area, but it is very aerodynamic. And you do have, of course, full tow capability on this thing. Kind of crazy. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what the heck is underneath it on this Macan Electric. All right, guys, we got the front hood popped open. You do have a front mounted trunk. It's 4 cubic feet of space. I think most people are gonna put their charging accessories up front, but it is nice to have that usable space. Now, when you look at this vehicle, you have the dual motors. So we have combined 402 horsepower on overboost, which is the special launch control. It has normally 382 horsepower. So when you're doing your normal driving, 382 horsepower. When you go into that overboost, 402 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in right around 4.7 seconds. Top speed, 137 miles per hour. Quarter mile flashes by at 13.5 seconds. You could tow up to 4,409 pounds, and the vehicle weighs 5,247 pounds. Range is right around 308 miles. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, how long does it take to charge? From 10% to 80%, you're looking at, on a DC fast charger, right around 21 minutes. And if you go with the rear-wheel drive, that one has 355 horsepower and does 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, but it does have a range of that 308 miles. Now, what's great is that you're gonna have that 95 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is gonna help you get that range number. And Porsche has been really kind of closer to their advertised ranges and the EPA's range than a lot of the competition. So it's gonna be interesting to see how owners fall and find that ultimate range with these Macans. But why don't we go ahead, let's turn it on and see it move. All right, guys, we are inside our bright blue 2025 Porsche Macan Electric 4. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, finally, Porsche has done it. I want an electrified SUV. I don't want a Tesla. I don't want an Audi. I don't want a Volvo. I don't want any of them. I want a Porsche. I'm a Porsche person. I have other Porsches. I want this Macan Electric 4. How much is it? This one, based off the way that it's optioned, is right around $100,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. I love the clean style. So you're gonna notice soft touch everywhere. You can't see it in the sunlight, but there is blue ambient lighting, and you have that open pore wood surface. Gives it a nice little pop of class. 3-way memory settings on the seats for the passenger and the driver. And then you work your way down to that nicely leather textured armrest, no gloss black. Door pocket is a big enough size for a Yeti bottle and 2 Egg McMuffins. Plus we got the Bose sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, love the stitching up top. And you'll notice that this one has the screen for the passenger. All touchscreen capability. It is an over 10-inch screen, 10.9-inch screen. The person can pull up the gauges, the passenger can pull up the gauges, then you could pull up all the other icons, which are really nice to have for the passenger. Kind of make them more of an active participant than just dead weight. You could pull up the stopwatch, chrono pack, create a new track when you're going to your track day, just like you would with any other Porsche. And then obviously, like I said, all the different things that they could get into. I specifically like the cockpit because it lets them see the G meter, direction you're going in, and the speed, which I don't know if that's a good thing, depending on who's sitting in your passenger seat. There's that blue ambient lighting, looking really crisp. You slide on in, we got our sport chrono clock up top. Love having that analog clock, obviously a stopwatch, and just really nice to have that extra touch in here that you're used to and familiar with Porsche. Working our way down, there's a 10.9-inch infotainment system screen. Of course, you can make all of your adjustments with the PASM, the Porsche Adaptive Sport Management, Shock Management System. You got your Sport Plus, your Sport, your different drive modes, even off-road, and you could raise and lower your Macan, which is really great. And what I like with Porsche is that you could, adjust, have sport sound or no sport sound, and you could even cruise the mall parking lot and pop up your spoiler. This guy right here is going to control your direct drive transmission, no 2-speed gearbox like you find in the Taycan, as of right now at least. Love the flat black, and then you open this door, what do we have? Wireless charging, close that door. Love the nice metal toggle switches for your dual climate control. You got 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, the oh crap handle for your passenger. And then down below, you got USB-Cs and a 12-volt and a place where you could put a small purse, a purse, a sack, a satchel, maybe even, your magic 8-ball. 2 cup holders. And then this is the new Macan Electric key fob. Really nice touch. Love that leather material. Open this up, you got your felt lining. That's where you could put your classic 1985 bright yellow Sony Walkman Sport, the one that is mildly waterproof. Keep that in there because on eBay, the values of those are going through the roof. Maybe one day you could sell that and get yourself a brand new 911 Turbo S. Who knows, right? Seats, love the leather, the perforations, full electric assist, of course, for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver. And then, like I pointed out earlier, we have that power sunshade for our panoramic sunroof. So that's another nice touch. I'm gonna go ahead and close it. I don't need any more sun on me. It's already hot enough. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the Porsche wheel in this Macan. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. We do have that nice aluminum sill plate with the Macan 4 name etched into it. I have my seat controls, easy to get to, especially that lower lumbar. So many adjustments. You could even pull out the hammy extension to really cradle your legs. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. That's one of the benefits of an EV is you have that flatter floor because there's no drivetrain to worry about. Steering wheel, the leather, love the needle point stitching. You got your drive mode selector knob here. Look at the way it changes the ambient lighting. I don't know if Steven could pick that up if he's really that good, but it actually adjusts the ambient lighting, which is really wild. So nice to see that extra touch. You got your thumb wheel drive controls. We do have a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and you do have just your power on button, but I do like the way that it's on the left side of the steering wheel, not the right. That's a Porsche signature move. 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, absolutely phenomenal looking. Love the shape. It looks like a Porsche gauge cluster would. And then we also have a ginormous head-up display. So you're gonna get all the information you need, but let's get in the back seat and see how happy your passengers are gonna be in this Macan Electric. All right, guys, we're in the back seat area, and this is one of those things where it feels sporty back here, but it's also very spacious, not even close to the headliner. You'll notice how flat and how low the floor is because of that battery pack being back there. The backs of the seats, that one piece, I don't like the cargo net. Gonna have to zonk that. You put a couple Ginsu knives in here, it's gonna rip right through it. And remember, Ginsu is actually an American knife company, and the reason why they chose Ginsu was to sound like a Japanese knife company. See what they did there with the marketing? You have your command center, your AC vents are great. We have our dual climate control with our dual blower fan. One thing I don't like is that we just have heated seats. At this price point, I would like to have ventilated seats as well, so that's a zonk. 2 USB-Cs down below. Plenty of room, plenty of ambient lighting, and I love the open pore wood. Can't forget this. Pull down the armrest, just enough space for your arm, 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into that cargo area because I want to take you for a spin in this all-new Macan Electric 4. All right, guys, cargo area time. What's really nice is I like the way they hide the button to open up the electric lifting hatch, the power lifting hatch. You just touch it, pops open, and you're going to be greeted to a decent amount of room for a compact crossover SUV. Now, obviously, you can see the big bag. That's where your charging accessories are. I think most people are going to put that up front in the frunk, but you have 19 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold the seats down, you have 48 cubic feet of space. Now, what's nice is that they do give you these cargo nets for your Nürburgring Nordschleife box of Twinkies, one on each side. And you do have the ability to fold down the seats just by pulling the handles, which are nice. But underneath, what's underneath the cargo floor, we're gonna find out. Is there a spare? No, no spare. You got your subwoofer for your Bose sound system. So that's what you get. And obviously it kind of makes sense because there's an electric motor there. You're not gonna have a lot of room to put a spare. But you bring that down, nice and smooth. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for an electrified on-throttle spin in this Macan Electric. Hi guys, we left Porsche Clearwater. We're in this 2025 Porsche Macan Electric 4. And right away, it feels like a Porsche should. The fit and finish is spot on. And I don't know what kind of magic that they're doing with their engineering. I mean, I know what the magic is, but it's awesome that they can get an electrified vehicle to drive like one of their ICE-powered vehicles. It's really the only brand that does it that well. The interior, so well set up. The fact that you could easily get into the infotainment system. The passenger has their screen. And on top of that, you got a ginormous head-up display. So really, really nice with the layout. It feels like an actual car that you're familiar with. I'm not a fan whatsoever of the ginormous, massive infotainment systems that have everything in it. This feels as if it was purposely done with since the beginning of time. Integrated infotainment system, integrated screen for the passenger, the ambient lighting, the ease of just going through the different modes is really, really wonderful in here. And then you're gonna have that lower center of gravity because of the battery pack. I mean, look at the handling here. And I'm not even on throttle yet. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. So, like I said, 0 to 60 in about 4.9 seconds. And with the all-wheel drive, you're getting the power to the ground very effectively. And I like how when you go into the different modes, each one is very unique upon itself. But let's see how this handling goes. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes, those massive 6-piston calipers. Look at this. Look at the grip. And with the electric sound, it just adds that little extra. It's sort of like putting some salt and pepper on your Subway sandwich. Just gives it that little extra something. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the electric sound off. And you're just left with that quiet driving experience of what an EV is all about. Now, I know in other EV reviews, I've zonked the heck out of the electric sound. This isn't trying to sound like it has an internal combustion engine. It's just very light, very subtle. It's not in your face. And Porsche says that they're not gonna do something like that where they put the sound and fake shifting in your face. Just a little subtle touch. And the fact that it's very easy to turn off if you don't want it is a pleasant addition. But the suspension, the PASM works great with the air ride. The steering feedback and feel is as you would expect from Porsche. Let's do one more time. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Look at this. Those Brembos. Freaking shedding speed as fast as a German husky sheds hair. Really, really smooth. And it makes sense to have it in their lineup. I mean, they're still gonna have, for now, the ICE-powered Macan. So this just grows their lineup and grows their opportunity to have more people come into the Porsche fold. And hands down, I would buy this over a Model Y in a heartbeat. I would buy this over any electrified BMW, even the sister brand Audi with their e-tron. I'm digging this Macan. But it's not cheap. But what is nowadays? Seats are comfortable, just enough bolstering to make things interesting. Visibility is great, out the front, out the back. And the ride is just really pleasant no matter what mode you're in. I'll go ahead and put it into normal mode. Kind of soften things up. Definitely softens up the steering, the throttle sensitivity. That's what you want. You don't want a vehicle that has 50 different modes. You want a vehicle that the modes that they offer make an actual personality difference. And that's the big plus. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of the new Macan Electric 4. We're gonna get back to Porsche Clearwater and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways here at Porsche Clearwater. Definitely want to thank Larry and the rest of the team getting us access to this 2025 all new Macan Electric 4. Let me know what you think. Has Porsche done the electrified SUV right? More so than a Tesla Model Y performance? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. You know what? Even though sometimes he could show up late to the party, he brings the party with him. Good job with that one, Stephen. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.